I am from Black Left. Do you think ending restrictions will raise Biden's approval ratings? No. First off, what restrictions?
God damn it.
It's like a mask mandates. I think removal of the mask mandates in these blue states will do nothing. What will help Biden's approval rating is if the virus doesn't come back. I don't know that there's a lot that the Biden administration can do about that at this point, short of maintaining mask mandates. I mean, personally, I think I don't understand the logic of, these governors doing this. They're looking at the their public approval ratings, and I don't know. The idea that somebody 8 months from now is going to go, you know what? I was pissed at my governor, but I'm going to vote for him because they got rid of the mask mandate. Instead of March 15th, they did it February 15th. It really made a big difference to me. I just don't see it. And it's quite clear that Omicron is receding. How about you let it recede?
Bradley, can you pull this up? This article I sent, it was in the Atlantic today, and it made my blood boil. Just on this topic for a second. This is like I feel like I'm living in a different reality. Open everything, but of course, Shimon. Of course. So if you could just scroll down a little bit, and of course the Atlantic is publishing this. It's just ridiculous. Just whining and whining and whining and keep going down, because I want to see if there's any place in this article where there are specifics about what needs to be opened up right now. Because I just, my call to open everything. Some will inevitably claim that America is no longer closed. Just this week, they will note Democrat-led states, including New Jersey and Connecticut, announced that they would soon end some mask mandates. Can you scroll down a little bit too? But this view ignores how profoundly steps to stop the spread of the coronavirus still affect everyday life. So there he concedes basically the point that people like me will say nothing is closed, but it's still so horrible for my kids to wear masks in the classroom, and many white collar workers still haven't returned to the office. Oh, they haven't returned to the office? I'm so that's really going to hamper your everyday life. This is ridiculous. We live in Brooklyn. We live in New York. This is supposed to be the area that is the most locked down, and nothing is locked down. You can go to a Knicks game. You can go to a Rangers game. You can go to any sports event you want. You can go see a Broadway show. You can go to a bar. You can go to a restaurant. What are they talking about?
Well, this is my favorite here, too. Okay. So children and teachers continue to wear masks in the classroom. I can tell you, my son has asked if he can continue to wear his mask. Exposure rules keep kids at home for days on end. I don't know where this is the case. There may be, but he should be specific. One of the beauty about doing a writing online is you could actually link to what you're talking about.
And apparently he can do that in other sentences. He just decides not to.
Hygiene theater there, right?
There was a link there. Many white collar workers still haven't returned to the office. That is because of nothing any government has done anywhere.
It's because white collar workers can afford to stay at home, and they are choosing to do so.
Significant restrictions on international travel persist. Do you know who gives a crap about that?
Elites.
This guy.
White collar workers.
They're
white collar bosses.
The percentage of people who are walking around going I am so mad about my restriction to go to Istanbul or to go wherever. Part of that is also maybe has to do with the other country.
Yeah.
Too.
I had to get a PCR test to go to the Galapagos.
Bradley, I put a Pew Research study that came out 2 days ago. It's about attitudes towards whether we should force in-person instruction only, online instruction only, or a mix of in-person and online instruction only. And there's a lot of insinuation, like Gutfield earlier saying like it's the black families who are really impacted like this. But look at who in-person instruction only, white is 47%, non-white 25%. So it's white parent, let's go down, Bradley. White parents overwhelmingly the ones who want the in-person instruction only, and also the higher you go up the income, the more likely you are to want in-person instruction only.
Yes.
As opposed to the sensible one on the far right, which is a mix of in-person and online instruction. When you're going through things like a peak of coronavirus,
it's just it is fascinating. And you know what's fascinating too is the same voices that talk about the out-of-touch elite media types who don't appreciate what your average American is going through are also the same people who completely parrot the out-of-touch media elites who make these arguments about how we're oppressing ourselves with this lockdown that doesn't exist. Open things up. Everything's open. Throw off the masks. Like, I mean, give me a break. It's just bizarre. It really is just a bizarre sort of like
even in the height of Omicron here, you could go to any bar and any restaurant and any workout class, any gym, anything. I mean, they did, I think, shut down some Broadway shows for a little bit. So if that's...
You can't eat in the McDonald's dining room. You have to get it to
Oh, you have to get it to go?
Yeah.
That brown bag is just like, it's oppressive.
Impacting my liberty.
It's authoritarian.
I mean, and that's the thing is like the masks and stuff are going to go away when the virus does. Like, you think the governors and Democrats are like, oh, we're going to need to think of a way to make people keep these masks on so we stay controlled even after
heavily invested in the mask.
Like,
I've got mask futures.
They don't want the hospitals to be overwhelmed, you idiots.
It really is stunning. I mean, I personally like. They're going to hold off on schools, at least in this state, until after February vacation, which to me seems completely rational. Frankly, if it was up to me, I would say let's wait until the end of March, where we can open up the windows. We can do this in the event that there's another variant. I could take the political hit for 2 or 3 weeks. It's just absurd, to the extent that there is one. I'm not even clear that there is one.